Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 229 of my Minecraft survival series, and we are finally out of the Nether. And that was nice. You know, it was momentary because we were actually about to head right back into the Nether because I didn't finish up everything I needed to. Because we are still working on the Temple of Ascension, or what I at least assume to be the Temple of Ascension. Okay, ow. Okay, that smarts. That hurt on my head. Did not like it. But you can see we got most of this structure in. We have the general structure in. And actually a lot of these areas I would consider complete at this point, but there is one area in particular just past this last rotunda right here, which is not done, and that is the big room. Now, the big room is as advertised. It is a big room, but it is also a big bare room with nothing much in it as of yet. And in order to make the old ones appear, I'm thinking we're gonna have to finish up the details and get this place all dressed up and how it should be, right? Now, this is something I wanted to do last episode, but I just ran out of time. So I think we're gonna go ahead and start this episode by finishing up what I wanted to finish off last time. And I don't think it'll take us too long. I think we can probably knock this out pretty quick. So at this point, let's go ahead and call Dee Dee on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. You're not, Dee Dee. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Listen, I got work to do, okay? I'm trying to get, I'm done with this place. I'm done with the Nether. You hear? Stop it. Stop it. Well, welcome back. So, I got some good news and some bad news. We're gonna lead off with the good news. The good news is the big room is now completed. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot we needed to add to it, but now it has some details in here, and it's looking much more complete than it was before. Okay, that's the good news, you know? That's the good news. Let's focus on that for a minute. The big room is now complete, okay? That's what we should take away from this. That's what we should remember, if nothing else. So let's go ahead and get into the bad news now. The bad news is that we did get the big room completed, which means the Temple of Ascension should be completed, which means that if the old ones were here, they should have probably showed themselves by now, or we'd at least have some idea of their presence, which we, in fact, do not. So, that leads me to believe that I may have made a teeny-weeny little mistake. It happens to everybody. Now, granted, not everybody builds a giant temple deep down in the depths of the Nether for no real reason, with little to no evidence that this is what we were supposed to be building or where we were supposed to be building, but you know, it's me. And it's not like this place isn't going to be used for anything. I mean, we have our blaze farm located here, right? So this could be just a giant elaborate build to house a blaze farm that we haven't built yet. Okay, you know, it's not all on me though, all right? You know, we had the dump sensors and all that stuff that you know, led me to believe that this is where we should be building. Now, even though this was a bust, we're not done yet. We still have a chance to find the Temple of Ascension. We still have a chance to stop the apocalypse. And Wolfrid's got some new technology that will hopefully allow us to do so. But before we get around to that, I do need to go ahead and pack up all my stuff because I am ready to leave the Nether. I don't want any reason to come back into the Nether anytime soon, so yeah, just give me a few minutes here. Should probably also fix my window. Not leave things any worse than how we found them, right? Look what I did! I cleaned my room, check that out. I mean, we still got these chests right here. This is the dark oak that we're using to build up the madhouse halls and stuff like that. But we're gonna leave that here because, you know what, this is the madhouse, this is where we're using it, so it kind of makes sense that we leave that. But let's go ahead and get out of the Nether. Let's get back to Luna and Wolfins Labs. Now, you might remember a couple episodes back, we made room for the Leap project that Wolfrid has been working on, and that's what we're going to get around to today, building up the Leap system and the Leap testing area, which is going to be located right here. Now, before we can start on that, I am going to need resources, I'm going to need our building blocks and all that stuff, and I have been slacking as far as, you know, getting everything together, so I'm going to take a few minutes now to do that. Time management is not my strong suit. But hey, you know, that just means we get a little bit more time to hang out, right? Right. And that's nice, you know? So, at this point, let's go ahead and call Dee Dee back on over here, put on a little bit of music, collect some materials. And that should maybe, hopefully, probably just about do it for us. Hey friend, look at you, you brought a little fluff ball over here, little kitty. Are you protecting these guys? You watching out for them? Keep them out of trouble? Good. How you doing? It's been good to see you guys again. It's been way too long. You know, I'll come back in AFK sometime. I will. Oh man, feels good to be running back through the overworld again, you know? I missed it. Missed Wharf. I missed Luna. I missed being anywhere except for the Nether. Alright, workstation is set up, and what are we going to work on again? That's right, we're working on the Leap system area, the light enhancing apparatus prototype testing area. That's what we're working on today. This inconveniently placed beacon could be a problem. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with that, because we're definitely not going to have a beacon beam shining through our center of our walls here. But basically what I want to do is just kind of get the floor in first. Now we're not going to do the same type of floor we usually do for Wolfins Labs. We're not going to do that diorite and andesite slab floor, because we're building this place to Wolfrid's specifications, and he has asked for a bolder, darker block palette. So obviously the diorite and andesite, that's not going to cut it. I think we're going to roll with this type of floor instead, the dark prismarine and cyan terracotta over the black stained glass. I think that is more to Wolfrid's liking. I think that's more to his aesthetic versus the rest of the Wolfins Labs, which was obviously built for his father, right? So, he's also asked us to make use of metallic surfaces, generally reflective surfaces, polished surfaces, stuff like that, so we can test the light enhancing properties of the Leap prototype. Keeping that in mind, we're definitely not going to want a stone-like wall here along the sides of the floor, right? We're going to want to use that dark prismarine since you're going to be able to see it through the glass. Oh boy, Wolfrid's got some expensive taste. Expensive and labor-intensive. I'm going to have to carve this floor down another block. You know, the man's got style. Who am I to complain? Who am I to question it, right? I mean, the glass floor isn't just for style purposes, it's also practical as well. I mean, when are glass floors ever practical? Well, when they prevent mob spawning. We're not doing our slab floor in here like we usually do, so... I mean, glass is probably the best option. I think it's black glass, which is an expensive option. You know, I don't know what he's thinking. Does he think I'm made out of wither roses? I'm not. I'm not. You know what? I'm not one to cut corners. Yes, I am. We're going to cut some corners here. Because why use a full block when a slab will do, right? Actually, if we're going to use slab... Wait, hold on. I have a better idea. Hold up. You know what this floor needs? Depth. Look at that. We got some depth now. I can justify it by saying we can add some depth. Make it look more three-dimensional, you know? Yeah. Though I'm thinking the cyan terracotta is maybe not what I want to use for the floor. I'm thinking that might look a little bit too smooth. I want something with some roughness, some texture to it. So I got some tuff. We'll try to use that in this build. This will be the first time I use that. But also, I know we've used droppers in our floor before. There's no sense in not bringing that back. So we can do something kind of like this, and I think this will probably work. Just make it a little bit different, a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. I mean, it never hurts to try a little bit something different, a little bit something new, because, I mean, this is a new era for Wolfins Laboratory. It's a new era for Luna, if what Wolfrid says is to be believed. I mean, this leap system, whatever it is going to revolutionize the way we see our world here. I mean, if only briefly, considering we do have a couple apocalypses on our hands that we have not gotten any closer to solving. Now that we got our floor in, we can start trying to transition into our walls here. Actually, before we start transitioning into our walls, I need to figure out what our walls are going to look like, don't I? Maybe we can use a little basalt. I think that might work with the block palette here, but we would want this to go down so that way it looks like it's continuing out from, you know, the point where we can see it, right? So maybe something kind of like that would maybe work. I think so. Kind of like it. And then we can use stairs to transition into our walls, and I kind of like that. So, what are we going to do with this center part right here? I don't know. I'm not used to building with a full block floor. I'm used to slabs. Like, I could use... I don't know. Alright, I want to go ahead and get some walls in here. Now, our walls are going to be built of cracked deep slate tiles and deep slate tiles, so I'm going to make some of these up real quick. But while I'm doing this, I just want to take a moment and thank you guys, because, I mean, you're watching me fumble around in this world like I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing, yet somehow you guys come back every week, and I just want to let you know, I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. You know what could be kind of cool here is if we left a little bit of space to work some light sources down in these areas. I'm thinking maybe like some lava lights would be kind of cool, like not lava lamps, but like actual lava light source. I think that might be kind of neat. We could put that right down in there. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. I'm all over the place right now, but I figured out what I want to do with this central area right here. I'm thinking since the majority of this build is going to be fairly dark, maybe we make this area at the very center very, very light. That way it stands out. Because this is where we're going to be housing the Leap prototype, and you know, that's what this room is all about. We really want to call your attention to it. Okay, I'm starting to like what we got going on here. I'm starting to be able to envision it. I'm thinking this is probably going to work out now. I'm hesitant with a lot of my builds. I always think it's just not going to work. But I think I have an idea of what this room's going to look like, and I think it should hopefully probably look pretty cool by the time we're done here. Let's get some lava, he says. Let's do some lava lights. Why? Why would I suggest that? There's other light sources that we could get aside from lava. I just can't pull myself away from the Nether, no matter how hard I try. It's ridiculous. You know what? That's worth it. The lava's worth it. I kind of like how this room is starting to look now. But this room isn't all we're going to build today. I am going to build a little area off to the outside here, which is going to be like a little testing tunnel where we expose the leap system to various wavelengths of visible light and just kind of see how it reacts to it. Now, I mean, as far as the layout goes, we're just kind of having it wrap around the perimeter of this quarter of the circle here. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. And I don't think we need to do much more planning than that, because I already know pretty much what we're going to do with this area. I have a pretty good idea, at least. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? We didn't want basalt here. Like, I'm still in build mode from the fake Temple of Ascension that we're working on. That's where we're using the basalt pillars. No, we're not going to be using basalt pillars in here. Wolford didn't ask for that. Wolford asked for something else. Wolford asked for these warp stem pillars. I didn't spend all this time harvesting the warp stem to not use them, right? Now, I don't think this is going to look as good. I don't. But, you know, the customer is always right, even when he's wrong. I mean, Wolford has his reasons, though. Like, the warp stems do kind of simulate the netherworm corruption, and the leap system should help us locate that corruption, but we do need to test it and have warp stems around here, so that way we can actually see if it's working, right? Right. Maybe. I don't know. That's his justification for it. I don't know. He's a stylish one, not me, so maybe he's on to something here that I'm just not seeing. But I do think, hey, friend, there you go. You didn't take anything from me, did you? No? Okay, excellent. I do think at this point we are just about ready to go ahead and get started building this area up. So let's call DD on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. Leap is complete. Well, I mean, it doesn't look complete. The exterior's not done, but, you know, we're not really counting exteriors as far as these Wolfins Labs builds go, because we're not really working on the exteriors as of yet. That's something we're going to save until much, much later, once we get a lot more of these laboratories and research areas and testing areas built. But we can go ahead and check out the Leap testing area, which is right here, which is not really my aesthetic. Like, I mean, it's cool, you know, it's cool. It's what Wolford likes, and we'll roll with that. You know, it's what he asked for testing out the Leap prototype and, you know, just seeing its functionality, seeing what it's actually capable of. So, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what the Leap prototype is actually capable of. And, you know, we do have it sitting right here in front of us. So, I mean, you know, we can test it out, right? There's no harm in that. So we got the WL-RTX Leap helmet. I think it's my size. He probably intended for me to test it out. You know, he probably intended for me to try it on anyway. So let's do what he would probably want. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Wolfred, forgive me for ever questioning you. Yeah, we definitely see our world in a whole new way right now. This is insane. This is incredible. I see what the fuss is about. Oh my goodness. Everything's so colorful. It's I don't know how else to put it. Wow. And yeah, we can definitely see the warp stems, right? We could definitely spot corruption if we needed to. I'm kind of curious to know what the rest of Luna looks like this. Are you guys curious too? You know what? Maybe next episode we'll take the Leap helmet out for a test drive around Luna. But oh man, we're gonna go ahead and put this bad boy up for right now. That's something else, Wolford. That is something else. And that is also where we're going to call it for today's episode. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more, if you want to see what Luna looks like with the Leap helmet on, be sure to subscribe. But, as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.